So for those that don't know, each blockchain has a different consensus mechanism to actually agree upon whether or not transactions are legit. Now, Bitcoin is proof of work, or POW, where they have all these miners and computers solve these complex puzzles in order to actually validate these blocks and have consensus. Now, most chains are not proof of work anymore. They're actually proof of stake, and this relies on validators, which lock up or stake their crypto. This is now collateral, and this is used to validate blocks instead, and it's a lot more energy efficient. Now, what's interesting is every single proof of stake blockchain, which is most of them, require you to lock up your crypto. For Ethereum, for example, you need to have 32 Ethereum to be a validator, and then it locks up the crypto for a certain amount of time. And in exchange for doing this, you're able to earn a yield. And for Ethereum, you earn ETH. For Solana, you earn Solana. And a lot of these different stakings or lockups have different time frames. They have different APRs. They have different minimum staking requirements. And because of that, you actually have a lot of different projects or infrastructures, such as Coinbase, for example, that allow you to stake your Ethereum without all these other requirements. Now, the reason this works is because if the validators try to not act honestly and they try to do something malicious, then all of their money that they were staking, that they were using as collateral, gets slashed and gets taken from them. So this is what prevents malicious actors from manipulating the different data in the different blocks. The more validators or people that are staking for a blockchain, the more secure and decentralized it is. And that's why they always have some sort of APR or token emission or incentive for you to actually lock up your tokens and go through this process. Now, what's really interesting about staking is there's actually something called liquid staking, which has really gained a lot of traction and momentum over the course of the year. And instead of locking up your funds or needing to meet minimum requirements, a lot of blockchains are now having these dApps where you can get a synthetic token instead. So you might lock up your ETH or some sort of other crypto like Injective or Solana, for example, but when you lock that up, you actually get a synthetic version. So for example, on Solana, Jito is one of the biggest liquid staking platforms, and you'll get like JSOL or whatever it is. On Injective, you can get H-Injective or D-Injective. So a lot of these different chains are starting to have this liquid staking option, and now you can buy and sell that synthetic version, or at any point, take away that synthetic version and get back your main version, such as the real Ethereum or the real Solana. And in the process, what's really nice about this is you're able to get the yield from that staking. And then on top of that, a lot of times you might be able to qualify for some sort of airdrop. And then on top of that, you have that additional liquidity that isn't locked away. And in worst case scenario, if the price depegs too much from the synthetic and the main asset, you can always go through the unstaking or the unbonding process at that time and wait to get that main asset back. So to go over some of the pros and cons, when it comes to the pros, you can earn a yield on your crypto. You help decentralize the network. You can potentially get airdrops from that blockchain from doing so. And liquid staking allows the ability to earn while at the same time not locking up that liquidity. Some of the cons is it locks up your funds if you aren't liquid staking. The emissions from the staking or the yield or rewards from this do end up hurting that token price in the long run, but it's something that's necessary. There's also the aspect of having some sort of smart contract hack or some sort of exploit specifically for these different liquid staking dApps. And even for liquid staking, if there is too much of a depeg and you want that main asset back, you are going to have to unbond. And for example, on Injective or Cosmos, this takes about 21 days where your money's kind of tied up. To kind of show you guys an example of this, this is the Kepler dashboard for Cosmos, where you have a bunch of different Cosmos-based tokens, which are all proof of stake. And for example, I can take my Injective right now and hard stake it, what I call hard stake, not liquid stake, and I can get a 19.3% APR, and this is paid to me in Injective tokens on a minute basis. So the more tokens I have, the more that I can claim from this staking reward. You'll notice that all these other Cosmos tokens also have an APR, and when you actually go to stake, you'll be able to select a validator that you want to stake with. And sometimes these validators will not only give you the yield, but on top of that, they might also give you an airdrop. So for example, Black Panther has a 5% commission, which is the lowest commission on Injective, which you have to pay attention. Commission is the fee they take. That means that 95% of the rewards from this validator are being split between everyone that are staking with this validator. And then you can also get those additional Black tokens on top of it. The thing is when you are hard staking like this, whenever you go to unstake, stake, it does take 21 days, and that's time your money is locked up. That's where something like Stride now comes into play, where you can liquid stake. I can stake my TIA, for example, and in exchange, I'll get ST TIA. Now I'm still gaining that APR on my TIA. I might be able to qualify for some airdrops. And then with that ST TIA, I can use that in different DeFi applications, or I can simply sell that and get that liquidity back. Staking is a really great way to earn a yield, and the primary downside is that you're locking up these tokens for the most part. But like I said, a lot of these liquid staking platforms are great platforms to use. You just have to hope that there isn't some sort of major hack or exploit. Most of the time, if you're willing to hold something for the longer term, though, you are better off staking it and earning that additional yield.